Good morning. This is April the 10th, Thursday, 2024, and we are in BBIS second semester compulsory English class, where we have just started the essay on the topic of intercultural communication. Okay, as we read yesterday that the main purpose of this essay is to improve our communicative competence as we talk to people from other cultures, right? So we saw how, why the screen there is changed, okay. How we began by paying attention to three words: being sensitive to the misunderstanding, recognizing obstacles, and having the power and desire to change ourselves in a positive way. Then we read about major goals of this chapter, right? To increase our knowledge about communication competence. Sorry, there is a spelling error here. While typing, I made an error. This is not competition. It should be. I made these slides midnight, so I was sleepy, and somewhere I may have slips. I woke up around 1:30 and prepared the slides for the class. Okay, so as we saw that we need to be sensitive to misunderstandings, learning to recognize obstacles, and discovering ways to change our own behavior, right? So what is communication? We defined communication as shared activity, right? This means there are more than one people in communication, and then it's an action, behavioral action. We're talking to some people, right? It's interaction because there are two people or more than two people, and it's a behavior exchange. Right now I'm communicating to you, and you may like my way of presentation, you may not like my way of presentation. So it's my behavior as a teacher, right? For example, what I talked about attendance in the very beginning, that might have made you unhappy. So as a teacher, I shouldn't make students unhappy in the very beginning of the class. Now I realize, right? Then you should be prepared to learn these behaviors, to adjust these behaviors according to different situations, right? Somebody's knocking? Yes, well, I requested class. Timla Chiras Malchira on the class. Timla Chiras 11 7 possible. If I concede him, I'll have to concede other people also, and you will learn from him. Oh, sir allowed him, so I can come late tomorrow. Okay. So 3 common threads we read, right, earlier. And then 10 propositions. Very important. Once again, let's repeat. There are 3 things in communication, very important. One is motivation. You must be positively motivated. Look, I came here at 6:33 this morning. I wore 2 raincoats. I wore plastic bags around my shoes. And I wore 2 what I call trousers to prevent getting wet. I wore 3 waterproof jackets. Another extra cold jacket, warm jacket. And I left home at 5 to 6 and rode very slowly, but lots of difficulty, avoiding potholes on the way. I came to college at least how many minutes before? 30 minutes before. That's motivation, because I like teaching. Otherwise, I could have made a call and said, ma'am, I can't come because there is lightning and heavy rain, right? I could make an excuse. Right? Okay, so motivation, knowledge. I don't think I have good knowledge about teaching because I'm developing. So we should have knowledge. And then third, skills. So three things very important: motivation, knowledge, and skills. They are the basic pillars of competent communication. Then being credible. Ma'am was asking me, so when she sees me coming on time, I become a credible teacher for the college, right? She knows that pani pare pani batti je bhaye pani saraununcha. That credibility is very important. People should believe you are a reliable person, right? Then meeting expectations of your partner. When you have communication, there are the other party listening to you, talking to you. You should understand what they expect from you and match their expectations, right? Strike a balance between autonomy needs and intimacy. How much close you want to be to the person and how much distance you want to maintain. If you have similarities between you and the person you're talking to, you can reflect on it. Reflection is looking back and evaluating how this is good or bad, how I can use this. Then show trust, show that you trust people. Do not show doubt to people, right? I'm weak in this case. For example, as a teacher, maybe you might feel that Dibakar sir has no trust for us, right? I have this feeling because I always ask you, don't do this, don't do that. So you might have this feeling that this English teacher doesn't trust us. Then offer social support, right? And have access to multiple relationships to be good, competent communicator. I repeat it because they're very important points to keep in mind for exam. So now we enter the model of intercultural communication competence. And the first thing we see here is that our world is shrinking. Why is the world shrinking? Because more and more people are coming into contact with each other, right? And these contacts, they comprise interpersonal encounter. These are very important words, interpersonal encounters. Encounter is, not a very positive word. Encounter is when you meet a stranger for the first time. And within seconds, you have to decide how to tackle, how to behave. For example, if you are going to America these days with a passport visa and you go to your immigration center and the American policemen start inquiring you. Now, if you do not know how to communicate properly, they might, deport you if they suspect, right? If the way you answer shows them that you are hiding something, right? Because they are saying that if we find that you are hiding something, we can cancel your visa. So while in the immigration, when you talk, and if they feel that you are hiding, you may have problems. So it's very important to be able to speak in a very smooth, normal way. The way you speak shouldn't give people doubt. The way you respond should not give people doubt, right? Okay. So the purpose of this essay, when we are reading the models of intercultural communication competence, is to examine the concept of, here's a new word for the first time. Note the word and understand. Interactional competence. Because we have been reading intercultural competence all the time. Here's a new word, and keep in mind, intercultural and interactional. Interactional, I-N-T-E-R-A-C-T-I-O-N. Interaction and interactional. So interactional competence is how smoothly, how properly you interact with people. Do you make them angry? Do you make them nervous? Do you make them disappointing? How well you interact, right? So this essay wants to make you better interactant. An interactant is a person who is interacting with somebody. Okay. So what is intercultural communication competence? Focus the word competence here because we are talking about competence. Competence. Intercultural, three things are there. Talking to people from another culture, talking, communication, and competence is doing something better. So it's an impression that behavior is appropriate. See, interaction is a behavior. When you talk to somebody, you are behaving. Right now, for example, when I started my class and when I talked to Dalansa, for example, I mentioned his absence. Now I realize I shouldn't have done that because I singled him out in the class. He might have felt very bad, right? So that behavior from my side was not appropriate because it might have made him unhappy in the class. When I opened the door for the student, talked to him for a while and closed the door back. That's not a proper behavior, may not be proper behavior. He might have felt, why did you open the door and why did you close the door? Maybe he felt insulted. Maybe he will talk to you and you will talk to him and maybe he's very sad, right? So interaction, as a teacher I'm interacting in this class with you, with latecomers, this is a behavior. And this behavior, people should look that this behavior is appropriate. I'll ask him, Dalansa, did you like my way of asking you about absence? Give a very frank answer. For example, you saw I talked about your absence openly in the class, right? And you might have felt that I have singled you out because you become a point of focus in class. Did you like that idea? Give a frank answer, yes or no?
I don't really care.
Yeah?
I don't really care.
You don't really care? Okay. So he is okay with it. He's not hurt. But just imagine he felt hurt. Just imagine because he felt hurt throughout the class, he's not paying attention to my class. How sensitive this thing is, right? So appropriate. If he said, I really felt hurt, then my behavior will be inappropriate. And my communication fails. Right? And effective. I think it's effective because I'm pointing him, because I'm interfering. Maybe tomorrow Dalansa at home in his bedroom, he will remember, oh, Divakar sir points me out in the class, so I should leave home early and reach class on time. Maybe he will come. If it happens like that, that's an effective approach, right? Third is context. For example, look the context. This is academic context. We are at a college, in a classroom with the students. We're having lessons. And I'm dealing with a student. So this is academic interaction. This is academic communication. It also has to be appropriate, and two things are there, appropriate and effectiveness. The competence is judged on two criteria. Is the communication appropriate? For example, the way I dealt with the students who was knocking the door may not be appropriate, or appropriate. From my point, it's appropriate because I shouldn't let latecomers in. From his point of view, it may not be appropriate because I opened, talked to him, and returned him back. He might have felt insulted, right? So appropriate and effectiveness in a given context. See the word given, because context differ. If we were in the canteen having coffee together because it's rainy day today, we decided, so let's not have a class today. Let's go to canteen and let's sip hot coffee and talk. Let's have informal class. Why do we study in classroom? Let's go in the canteen. And if he had come over there, maybe we'll let him sit there. We won't return him back. Because that's a different context. We're in the canteen, not in the classroom. So in the classroom, I return him back. In the canteen, I will let him stay. Right? Am I speaking too fast? I do realize now I'm speaking too fast today because I want to cover a lot of content. Okay, what is competence? The Nepali word for competence is nipunata. Do you know the meaning of this word nipunata? Nipuna. Do you know? No? It's a Sanskrit root word, okay. So I was translating the essay in Nepali and I realized that many of you won't understand Nepali as well, right? Because it has such words. Okay. So competence is ability. Ability or set of skilled behavior. I have the competence to ride a motorcycle, but I don't have the competence to drive a car, not ride a car. We drive a car and we ride a bike. We don't ride a car and we don't drive a bike, right? So I don't have. I have the ability to speak English. I have the skills to teach in class. I prepared this slide last night. Why? Because yesterday evening I was preparing for class and one thing I had in mind was how shall I present this huge content? Because what was worrying to me in this essay is there is a lot of content, a lot of ideas. And I was asking, How shall I present? How shall I present? Then midnight I woke up with that worry. Oh God, tomorrow is my class and I'm not prepared for the class. How shall I present? Then it struck me, oh, I can make PowerPoint slides. Because PowerPoint allows me to break points. And around 1:30 I woke up and sat down to make the slides. My slides are fine, not bad. There is a good color contrast. I used a darker brown background and a white foreground. The font size is bigger, smaller, right? I haven't used a lot of text in a single slide, for example, you can see. Later you will see some slides have a lot of text. That's a bad thing, right? Skills. I may have skills, I may not have. So communication is also a skill. You should know how to use your non-verbal gestures, body language, posture, hygiene, space, how close you should approach the person you're talking to, right? Okay. We said that competence is ability and skill, right? But you know, something that people judge as competent in one situation may be incompetent in another situation. What you can say to me or what you can say to your parents at home, you cannot speak the same thing to me in the classroom. At home, that was okay behavior. They accepted, your parents and you. In the class, when you do the same thing to me, I scold you. You can reach home late in the evening, but you can't reach late in my class in the morning. Same behavior, right? And I say you are lazy, you are careless, you are not competent student, right? So competency differs from situation to situation. What is okay in one situation may not be okay in another situation, right? I remember a very bad thing. I remember a horrible thing, you know. I remember Gangubai Chetri. Sorry. You know about this thing, right? How come you don't know? A guy like me knows about this thing and you don't know? I don't believe it. I heard in social media that Gangubai is a social influencer, and then I don't know, you can correct me. And she was talking to her boyfriend on the video camera, and she displayed her body nudity. Her boyfriend recorded, and now this is in Telegram and all social media. And now it's a huge uproar. You should learn from this incident. You should not expose yourself to other people, particularly on video calls, messagings, WhatsApp, etc. Right? Be very careful. I was remembering this thing because what she did inside the room, phone to phone, was okay to them. But when this came out in the social media, it's no more okay. So behavior you do in a room and the behavior you do outside is very different. Be very careful. Okay. So competence cannot be defined by behavior or ability itself. There is one thing. You are competent if the social judgment, social evaluation accepts it. The major point is social evaluation. You may say, I'm doing very fine, but society, look what is happening to Gangubai now. They are hurling accusations, they are hurling abuses, they are hurling good things, bad things on the media. So social evaluation of behavior. Please understand. You may lock the door. You may not lock the society. Whatever you do, people will talk about it. Whatever you do, people will talk about it. And before you do, ask a question. How is my behavior? How will the society evaluate it? If the society thinks your behavior is not appropriate, control it. If the society says your behavior is not good, control it. Right? Do not say it's my individual right. Okay? Because we live in society. We live in society. We don't live on a planet alone. Okay. Competence must be viewed as social, as I said. What is competence? Social evaluation of behavior. Social evaluation of behavior. Don't say, I'm okay with my clothing. What's the problem with you? No. If you're in a bedroom, no problem. But you're in the street. So saying that I'm okay with my dress, why are you commenting? No. Social evaluation matters because we are living in a society. The same is about communication, right? The words you choose to use, the gestures you make, the space, the closeness or distance you maintain. Social behavior of, social evaluation of behavior. As we remember, communication is behavior. You are behaving. When you talk to people, you behave. How useful thing. When you talk, you behave. As I talk to you in this class, I behave. Right? So there are two things about social evaluation. How does society evaluate you? One, they ask, what is doing, is it appropriate? Second, is it effective for the purpose? Because every communication has a purpose. Every communication has a purpose. Right? If you can achieve that purpose through the communication, it's effective. And every communication has style. Some styles are appropriate, others are not appropriate. Okay. So what is appropriateness then? Appropriateness is if your behavior is viewed as legitimate, okay. They say, okay, that's okay. For example, that boy standing at the door, he was about 5-6 minutes late. And I said, no, you can't come in. I didn't accept. So that's not appropriate. His punctuality, his late coming is not appropriate because I didn't accept that. The teacher didn't allow it. Or fitting to the context. For example, you cannot crack a joke at Aryaghat while you are participating in a funeral. You are in a funeral. The dead body is being cremated. People are very serious. And there you crack a joke and you laugh. They will look at you. Oh, who is this guy laughing here? Because they are mourning. Right? Fitting to the context. So you cannot crack a joke while you are mourning, for example. So what does being appropriate mean? Appropriate means valuing the rules, following the rules. The right-hand side lights in my motorcycle, front and back. This morning I found they're not working. The left-hand side is working. Thank God no traffic police found me. They will give me a slip, 1,000 rupees. It cost 1,300 rupees for the switch. I have to change the switch. I told the mechanic, change it. It was too late last time. I could not. I should follow the rules. I should value the rules. This afternoon, I'm going to change them. I cannot come in sandals to a classroom. I should follow the rules. So appropriateness means obeying the rules. And where do you get the rules? Society has developed the rules from since ages. It's tradition, right? Then norms. Norm means what is acceptable. Do what is acceptable. And you understand because you grow in a society. So you know clearly what is right, what is wrong in everything, right? And expectations. Always ask, what do people expect from me? What does English teacher in the first class expect? He expects me to be on time, to be regular, to be punctual, to be doing the work, right? Then your behavior is appropriate. Okay. So you don't violate rules, you don't break norms, you don't disappoint the teacher, right? He disappointed me by coming late. His behavior was inappropriate. Okay, what is effectiveness then? Effectiveness and competency are always equated, right? What is effective is competent, what is competent is effective, right? It is, what is effectiveness? Accomplishing some task, your goals or rewards related to cost and alternatives. For example, you purchase an item. One paid 10 rupees, another paid 7 rupees, another paid 6 rupees, another paid 4 rupees. This 4 is most effective because it has minimum cost. So effectiveness is always relative to cost and alternative. What was the other option? So your choice should be best in comparison to all options. And your choice should be the cheapest. So if you can accomplish a task in a very easy way, cheap way, without spending a lot of money or resources, and if the choice you made is better than other choices, then you did it effectively. So effectiveness is related to options, right? You had 5 options. Which options did you choose? For example, this morning I had 2 options. I woke up midnight, prepared the slides around 5. I got ready for the college, and it began to rain very heavily. And what thought came, how shall I go to college? Then I thought to call my daughter and ask her to manage in-drive for me. I thought, how much shall I have to pay? I guessed maybe 800 rupees. I thought it's too expensive to spend 800 rupees to go to a class where I earn about 500 rupees, or let's say 600 rupees. I'll be paying more than I earn. Then I would go 5 times outside the window and extend my hand. Is it raining or not? It's so funny. Being poor is so funny, right? I wish I had a car. I extend my hand. And then I see it's not raining. Then I put on 1 raincoat. Then I feel, I'll get wet. I put another raincoat. 1 warm jacket, 3 waterproof jackets I put on. 3 jackets, then 2 raincoats. Then I covered the shoes with a plastic vegetable packet. Then I left home. Options. I had 2 options. Hiring a car, paying 900 rupees, and using my bike, saving 900 rupees. I chose the second option because I didn't want to spend money, right? Options, that's effectiveness. And I came on time, so it's effective. I didn't get wet on the way, it's effective. Wearing 2 raincoats was effective. Effective, okay. Then, satisfaction. When the administrator said, you're so early, pani parera chana aunu I was so happy. I was appreciated. Right? Satisfaction. Thikai गरिछ पानीमा आएर पनि चाँडो भएर ma'am is happy. Satisfaction. Right? Efficiency. I was efficient because I came about 30 minutes before. I had enough time to set up my camera and all that. When I came, only one student had come. Who had come there? She had come. No, who had come? She had come. Then she came. Then Lavi came. Then many people came. Efficient. You are Lavi, right? You are not Lavi. Who is Lavi here? You are Lavi. What's your name?
Sylvia.
Huh?
Sylvia.
Somebody repeat.
Sylvia.
Sylvia, yeah. Have you heard about Sylvia Plath? Have you heard? Who is she? Who is Sylvia Plath? There's a name Sylvia Plath. Who is she?
Writer.
Huh? Writer. Very famous poet. Very famous novelist. She has written a world famous novel. Very short novella. What's the name? Something plus jar, I forgot. The Bell Jar. The Bell Jar. Have you read? Read it. It's about women growing up in families where men dominate women. A wonderful author. She many times, I think, did she commit suicide? At a very young age, I guess. Sylvia Plath committed suicide at a very young age because I know she was a very revolting woman. Wonderful name. Love that name. Sylvia, right? Sylvia, good. Okay. So, efficiency of story. Sorry, I got distracted. Sorry, I have this weakness. Okay. So efficiency is concerned with communication that is direct. You speak directly, people don't have a confusion, there is no ambiguity. You respond immediately, and your communication is to the point. To the point. You don't beat around the bush. Then, okay, here's a mistake. It's competence, not tent. Okay, so your communication is competent when you complete the task in an appropriate manner to the context. See, this word is very important because what is appropriate and what is not appropriate differs from context to context. Right? What I say to my family members at home, I cannot say the same to you because the context is different. Okay, what does context mean? Context means culture, broadly, very broadly. We all belong to Nepali culture, right? I cannot come to class wearing shorts, for example. If I was in a Western setting, maybe I can come. Because in the Western setting, people are very informal. You can see the campus chief in shorts and jogging dress. The president be filmed or president can appear in informal dress, right? So relationship among people, place and function, purpose. What is the purpose of meeting or communication? So purpose, place, relationship, culture. These four are the constituents of context. Okay, competent behavior, again there is an error. This is competent, not competence. So competent behavior depends on the relationship between interactants. There are two people, at least two people. Communication is always dyadic. Dyadic means between two people, minimum two people, right? So it depends on your relationship. I'm not very clear about this point. Okay, it also depends on place and physical environment, right? Maybe the environment may be supportive to your communication, environment may be disturbing, a lot of noise is happening there. Demonstration going on like last time in Chaitra Pandra, you saw the correspondents were giving live to the situation and police were shooting bullets and tear gas. A lot of people were shouting, making noise, and then they were talking. That's not a very good physical environment, right? Okay. So competence is influenced by your purpose. What is the purpose of communication, right? Why you are talking? Purpose and the people. Are they friendly to you? More friendly, less friendly? Are they rude to you? Right? And what you are trying to do in the communication, what you want to achieve by the communication. That also affects competence. Now, appropriateness and effective, they also depend on interaction quality, the quality of interaction. Now we're getting to some difficult ideas now. What is interaction quality? First, let's talk what is quality, right? If something is very appropriate and very effective, it has high quality. So the quality of a communication event is determined by two factors, appropriateness and effectiveness. There are four types of qualities, right? There are four styles of communication: minimizing style, sufficing style, and maximizing style, and optimizing style. Let's understand each of them. Minimizing, sufficing, maximizing, optimizing. Okay. What is minimizing style? What you say is appropriate, but it didn't get the job done. It is ineffective. You said it appropriately, but the person didn't listen to you, or your purpose was not achieved. So 2 words, appropriate but ineffective. Let's make it but. Why and? Appropriate but ineffective. It's a low quality of communication. Right? So it's not enough to be appropriate. You must achieve the goal. Right? Second is sufficing style. What is that? It is appropriate but ineffective. Yes. Because let's go back and see, is there a problem? I think there is a problem. Wait a minute. This should be, please correct it. This should be inappropriate and ineffective. Please correct it. It's number 1. It's inappropriate and ineffective. Both criteria fail. Both criteria fail. The way you talk is inappropriate and it is also ineffective. That is of low quality, minimizing. I made a mistake. Sorry. Second is sufficing style. It is appropriate now. Or it was inappropriate. It is appropriate but ineffective. Appropriate means you do nothing objectionable. Your behavior is fine. Right? But you achieve no objective through that interaction. The interaction went smoothly. You did nothing wrong, but your goal was not achieved. For example, I went to Indian Embassy, I told you last week, for a job interview, right? So now we'll have a big problem, right? Because neither you can see the points on the screen, nor your teacher can explain without seeing the points, because I don't remember all the points, right? See the problem of teaching. When a teacher has 100 points to present in class, he needs something to remember the points, right? If I teach the same essay 10 years, maybe I'll remember, but I don't like that idea of remembering and pouring down, right? Actually, this style of teaching is not right, because what is happening, I'm doing everything. You're not doing, right? In the other class, I won't do it this way. As I teach you in this class, while teaching you, I keep thinking, how shall I teach over there? And I decide, this thing I'll do like this. I decide instantly, okay, wait a minute. So we were saying, I was giving an example. In the interview, I answered all the questions. Right? I was very honest. I didn't tell a lie. I showed them I'm a reliable person. I frankly said I don't have experience, and I was not selected. Right? So my communication with them was appropriate, but it was not effective because I didn't win the opportunity. Okay. Source. Why that screen is not visible? Now I don't understand. Okay. Slideshow from current slide. Where are we? We were here, right? This slide, yes. So we're talking about this thing. Now let's move ahead. What is maximizing style now? It's the way you did something is inappropriate, but you got the thing done. For example, you told a lie. you got the job. Inappropriate. Telling a lie is not appropriate. You told a lie. You gave wrong information. I was hearing a news yesterday that in America, what Trump is doing is that a lot of people got government money during COVID by giving wrong information. Now Trump is looking back to the data and is saying that you'll have to pay the money back because you gave wrong information. Inappropriate, but now it's also ineffective. Now they'll have to give the money back. So cheating, coercing, forcing, right? So these are ethically problematic. You may be jailed for that, right? For example, you get a visa with wrong information. Then, who does such thing? A person who wants to achieve everything, even if it harms people. Cunning people, bad people. Such behaviors are not ideal. They're not good. You shouldn't follow this style. Okay, what is optimizing way? The last one. So the people having interaction, they achieve their goal simultaneously. Both people achieve their goal. If both parties in communication achieve their goal, then that's optimizing way. The best way, ideal way. Both parties are happy. For example, if I had got the job and if I have done my task well, then the employer will be happy, I'll be happy. Now we come to the next heading, a model of intercultural competence. Okay. Now, this is a research essay. What kind of essay? Research essay. In a research essay, at the heart of a research essay lies a research problem. There lies a research problem. I told you yesterday. And they are talking about the models of intercultural communication competence. And they say that most of the existing models are fragmented. That means they don't have connection together. If something is fragmented, it's not complete, it's incomplete. And there is no integration between one component and another component, right? There is no sense of integration. There is no coherence. Coherence is, what is coherence? When two things fit together, that's a coherence. When one thing is fitting with the another thing, that is coherence, right? And there is no coherence across list of skills, abilities and attitudes in the literature review. This is a critique of existing knowledge. This is a critique. This is also called showing the gap or showing the niche. Niche means a place not occupied by other people, right? For example, it is impossible to tell which skills are more important in what situations. Existing models have this problem, right? The lists are so huge that you can't learn all of them to have competent communication. So there are three criticisms of existing models of intercultural communication competence. So the writer begins by showing a problem with the existing knowledge about intercultural communication competence models. Right? Are you getting my point? And I told you, this is a research paper which begins with a research problem. This is the research problem. What is the problem? Problem is something that may cost you money and time. Problem is something that may cost money and time. If you don't understand communication properly, you will fail to communicate. You might lose money. I couldn't communicate last time in my embassy interview and I lost my job opportunity. Look, I could earn money because I could not talk properly. I couldn't convince them. So I didn't get the job. Why I could not convince them? Because I didn't know how to communicate. Okay. So earlier, Brian Spitzberg, the writer, showed a problem with the model. Now he is offering a solution. The solution that you offer in the language of research is called as hypothesis. What is hypo? Hypo means imagined, which has not been tried yet. You haven't tried it yet. Thesis means idea. An idea I want to try. That is hypothesis. An idea I want to try. Try for what? To solve the problem. To solve the problem. So what is hypothesis here? An idea that Brian Spitzberg believes that can solve the problem of existing models. Okay, so this point is very important. He proposes to develop an integrated model. Keep in mind, see the language here, see the words. He is proposing to develop an integrated model because existing models are fragmented. They are fragmented. They are not well connected together. So such a model will be consistent. It will agree with the theory of communicative competence and with the data of communicative competence. Empirical literature means data based on sensory perception, data based on experience. Empirical means based on experience. And based on experience means you experience in 5 ways. You experience by looking through the eyes. I can see her. I know she is present today. You experience by touching and feeling cold skin. You experience by hearing. You experience by smelling. And you experience by tasting. These are 5. There are only 5 ways to experience in this world. If your eyes are gone, ears gone, smelling capacity gone, tongue is taken out, skin is dumb, you are dead. You are in coma, you are dead. We know by 5 things. And whatever we know through these 5 things, we call them empirical knowledge. We also call them experiential knowledge. All knowledge in this world based on science is experiential. The opposite of experiential is metaphysical knowledge. God is not experiential. You cannot see God. You cannot smell God. You cannot taste God. You cannot extend a hand and handshake with God. Oh, God, do you have fever today? God is out of beyond the 5 senses. So God is metaphysical. So experiential is physical. So data. Here empirical means data. So this model agrees with the theory of communication and with the practice of communication. That's a good thing about this model. And second, it can predict a competent behavior. Later on, I will come to the point of individual system. where I will talk about what are the things that a person should have to become a better communicator. For example, one should be motivated. Good. Now the question comes, Divakar sir, what makes us motivated? Now we'll read about that. I stop the class here today. In next class, I'll discuss that. And I won't be coming to class on Sunday. Somebody else will come. I have managed to, others will come on Sunday. I will come in class on Wednesday now. And if you find time and if you have some fursat from this worldly affair, read the essay. Thank you.